What's up, y'all?
How goes?
Howdy.
How it be? What it is, what it ain't, what it ought to be. Um, so welcome to Thursday Night Live. If you didn't know, my name is Steve. This is Pat, and we're going to be talking to you guys as we usually do on Thursdays. Remember that the last Thursday of every month is Tarot Night Live. You can come and get a free reading. None of them cost a dime. If you do decide to donate stars, you get bumped to the top of the list because technically at that point you are a paying customer. We're going to be at the Mystical Market all next weekend. So come and see us Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 6 on Saturday. And I think it's actually 11 to 6 on Sunday too now.
Yeah, they changed the hours up a little bit, and the new location is 1165 Center Parkway.
Yep, look for the sunny side above the door. And the entrance will be the one next to it to the left. So uh, we're all going to be hanging out. There's going to be a lot of awesome people. Mr. Tyree's going to be there. Uh, Creations is going to be there. Joni Collins is going to be there. Druzy Does It. There's going to be a lot going on.
Rocky Hounds, the bestest peoples.
So we're going to be there hanging out with them. We're also currently tonight hanging out with Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can catch the praise and worship band across the way, but they are praising and they are worshiping, and truthfully, that's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're here for it. I'm glad they're doing it. But if you guys wonder what the background stuff is, that's literally what's going on. It's a live praise and worship band that is in a room that is very small.
Yep.
So,
and they are very worshiping tonight.
They're very Pentecostal tonight.
They're very feeling it tonight, and honestly, rock the fuck on. I do have the ticker up. I had that's what the pause was.
Okay. So, if you didn't see the ticker, yes, all Spirit Mechanics shows, videos, different things. We are an 18 plus community. That doesn't mean that people younger can't do the thing. It just means that parents need to be aware. We tell dirty jokes. We act like fucking idiots. We obviously cuss. It is a thing.
So that's up to you. There's a reason why we put the ticker on, just to be safe. If you're joining with your children,
be prepared.
That's your decision.
Be prepared.
So back to announcements. We do have the local monthly gig next week, and that is going to be at 1165 Center Parkway over in the Tates Creek area in Lexington. The following week, so the last weekend of the month, we're actually going to be having our 100 series classes. If you're interested in those classes, we do actually have a post with all of the links to purchase pinned to the top of our Spirit Mechanics page. So we are offering in person and we're offering online. So if you would like to do in person, please just make sure to select the in-person actual class that you would like to take. Same thing if you're doing online. If you do want to purchase the entire package of classes, you will get a little bit of a discount, but that is the first link on the post. Just notate when you go through the purchasing if you want to do it in person or online.
Yep. So yeah, if you buy all three classes at the same time, you get one half off essentially. So instead of it being a full 150, you only have to pay 130. But each class is $50 a piece. So that will be the 27th, 28th, and 29th of June. So the very last weekend of the month. We're looking forward to it. I know there's a lot of people out there that have been looking forward to it. Even though it's pinned, we're probably going to circulate the post around a little bit more, make sure everybody's aware of it. But hopefully some of you guys will be able to catch it this go. We can't offer them every single month because we can't dedicate a weekend every single month to make it easier for everybody. So, because we're limited on teachers. So we have to do this like once a quarter or once a third. So every 3 to 4 months at the most. So if you guys have been wondering why it is we've been kind of like, that's the reason, is just being honest. We've got cases, we got people to go see, we've got other events to do, we've got other projects going, and we want to make sure that you guys have it. It's just until we have enough teachers to be able to come in and do these classes, we just can't uh, provide them as often as would make this convenient for everybody. So apologies for that, but transparency is a thing, and we're always going to tell you.
Mhm.
I think.
I think that actually covers all the announcements for this month.
Wow.
Look at that, y'all.
Actually, I think so.
Snap. And howdy to everybody who popped in. I know we've had several people, and thanks to everybody who shared us out. We really do appreciate it. That helps us a ton, guys. Thank you.
100%. There was one other thing. If you guys have been wondering, I did a quick, you gonna be all right over there?
Yeah, I'm just giggling at the fucking.
But if you guys didn't catch it, there is a quick video that I did earlier that explains the reason why the forecast and the quick word are going to be a little bit later. It's because things didn't work out with me having enough time to be able to pre-record those like I usually do. So those will be pre-recorded tomorrow. But they're still coming. They're gonna be out this week as best as we can get them out. And so stay tuned. We'll have them. All right.
So, energy work. We've been talking the past couple months about clairs. We've been talking the past couple months about making sure that your mind, spirit, and body are all in alignment so that those things can actually function correctly. Now we're kind of getting into the nitty gritty of the difference between vibration and how that actually affects tonight's topic, energy work. So, what is energy work? Energy work refers to practices that involve manipulating and balancing subtle energies within and around the body to promote physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Quick, simple, to the point. So that is a broad definition of energy work as a whole, as far as metaphysics is concerned, and any kind of pseudoscience. So in a physical sense.
So from a physical perspective, energy work can be understood through various frameworks. Some people look at it through the lens of biofield or bioelectromagnet. Little bit of Jesus, I'll be better. Bioelectromagnetism, where the body generates and interacts with electromagnetic fields. Just need a little bit of Jesus, just a touch.
Just a touch. Goodness. That hair flat getting it.
Yeah.
But essentially what that's talking about is the natural vibration. We talked about that last week. The natural vibration that the body puts off and sustains itself with. So being able to interact on a physical level through metaphysics is what we understand energy work to be. Work in and of itself is classified as when energy is placed between an object that is non-influenced and one that is. In other words, it is working towards propelling that object. So what is it that we're actually doing? Well, from a physical sense, what we're doing is we're emitting energy towards somebody, something, a space that requires that added energy, that added movement specifically, which is a lot of the reason why you'll hear mechanics call it a movement. We call it a spiritual movement, an energetic movement. We're not talking about anything else. Wow. We're talking about literally an emission that is causing a clash and then a ripple back through that person, place, or thing. Energy work is literally a meta science. It's an understanding that everything is connected through the flow. We discussed that last week. Everything is connected through the flow, and because of that, it reacts as water. When water is impressed upon, it shifts, it causes a wave, it causes a ripple, it causes a movement. When water is not impressed upon, it sits there and is tranquil. But it doesn't mean that everything underneath the surface stays still. So, what we do is we cause that wave in order to see what's underneath the surface. So, for those who are able to see auras, that's literally what you're doing. Your aura is interacting, your movement, your decision to affect that person, your intention, whether it's healing or otherwise, is moving towards and helping you part that particular clear, smooth surface of that water. So you can actually see what's problematic underneath. It's the same thing with removing attachments, with performing Reiki. It's literally the same kind of movement. Your electromagnetism is affecting someone else's through pure intention. That's the goal.
It's neat shit, y'all.
So, everybody is like, oh, fuck, he's a nerd. And yes, I love this shit. I made mention of that. I love this kind of shit. Explaining both sides of it is literally what an alchemist does. But it's important to understand, just like with the clairs, when we were talking about those a little earlier on in the year, talking about your clairs are physical fucking things. You do those things all day, every day. I think Jesus is about to come through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Now, let me throw the disclaimer. For those of you who are, as this one falls over, I think she's overcome with the spirit. But for those of you that are like, he's being disrespectful to Christians, I am not. I am not. I was an ex-Methodist minister. I understand how this is. It's really hard to focus when you have a massive service going on in a very small space, because it is booming through the entire building.
Maybe I should add, we think Jesus is a cool dude to the end of the ticker.
So it's really difficult to make it through.
And I have no idea how much is actually coming through the mic. We've tried very hard to make sure that it's very minimal, just to make sure that y'all can actually still hear us. But it's almost like, part of the reason that, we kind of keep looking over is because it's loud, yes, but it's also extremely wholesome and just kind of brings a giggle because it's an expression of joy. And that's literally what it is that they're trying to do anyway. So they're having a very successful service. It's just also trying to do that with a live going is an interesting experience.
The attention is split.
Yep. Because, that's also kind of loops into what we're talking about tonight, though. They are pulling our attention this way. Energy work is working that direction. The intention is to pull things in, pull people in, bring a certain emotion. And you can feel that through the wall. They're doing a great job. So it actually kind of plays into tonight.
A little bit, yeah. But yeah, talking about your clairs and things, that's literally something that you do every day. I have a heightened sense of this. I can see better than some people. I can hear better. I can pick different spices out of foods, whereas most people just taste the composition, different things like that people are capable of all day, every day. That's literally what your clairs are. It's just understanding that your clair actually affects your spiritual side as well. Clair, in that sense, means clear. You can hear clearly, see clearly, feel clearly. That's the point. And when you connect to that and you allow yourself to do that naturally, you can pick up on things that typically you can't. The reason why is you're able to actually sense through your clair heightened vibrations, lower vibrations, different vibrations than what are capable.
And just as a reminder, because we've pitched it several times throughout the past couple months, what affects the spiritual affects the physical, and what affects the physical affects the spiritual. They flip flop. So, with energy work, one of the things that's very easy to notice is if it's something that you do regularly and it's something that you do freely, which most people do actually. It's just actually understanding this is associated with this means this, and it's just this awesome train that you keep rolling down the track with. Everything builds on itself. So once you actually understand how you function as a quote energy worker, also another PSA, labels, don't worry about them. It just is how to explain what it is that you physically do or do not do. We're not putting you in a box. Don't put yourself in a box. But I think that's enough of the PSAs. As far as energy work, if you actually take a deep breath, and breath work is one of the best ways to, at least for me personally, and it's something that's recommended is with people who are wanting to quote get into energy work or do energy work. It allows you to take a minute so that your mind, body, and spirit do actually connect and all meet at the same point. When that happens, the clairs can kick. So you can actually understand what someone else is going through in that moment, because not only are you potentially seeing it, potentially feeling it, you're hearing it. You're being told what's going on.
It literally works in both that particular sense and the other. Tapping into your clair is literally doing energy work with yourself. Being able to promote that clair is what creates energy work between all of us. So, what is a claircognizant actually doing? Well, what they're doing is being a physical medium. They're literally engaging between you and someone that you knew, or someone like a spirit guide, or, they're literally engaging and helping the conversation through mediation. The way they're doing that is with their particular clair. Their vibration hits the surface of that tranquil pond and finds what's needed in the ether. Okay, I would like to talk to this person. Cool, let me see if I can find them. And some mediums, channelers, you'll literally watch them hold their hands up. It's the coolest shit, especially when they actually get connected, is they'll literally hold their hands up and push. So what they're actually doing is they're feeling out for that person, for that energy. If it is an energy worker, what they're doing is they're using their clair to find where the particular issue is. Being able to hear it, see it, feel it, notice it, whether it's taste or smell or an actual tangible touch. What they're actually doing is they're feeling out where the issue is with you. You're going to them for some kind of healing. They're trying to find out what isn't normal, what isn't healthy, what is different in a bad way. And how they do that is literally reach out. We talked about this before, where everything communicates through light. That's literally what it is. Everything communicates through light. Even radio waves, so the things that you're able to hear are light. The way that we're speaking right now, your brain actually takes it in as photons and then turns it into sound. It's the coolest shit in the world. But what's actually happening when you reach out as an energy worker is you're reaching out with your clair, your vibration. You're literally asking permission to invade someone's space for a moment, to interact with their aura. And at that particular point, you're moving past the surface of that tranquil pond and seeing all the fish that move under, all the snakes that move under, all of the plants that may be living or dying under, the mud, the silt, the stones. You're seeing all of that when you typically just see the mirror of the world otherwise. And what happens at that particular point, with the proper permission, and the security of that particular client or family member or whoever you're working on,
Even yourself.
chakra work is a thing. But what happens at that particular point is there's a melding. So it goes from your vibration and theirs to your vibrations. It causes something that a lot of us refer to as a resonance. So what happens during a resonating moment is the two of you literally, energetically at least, understand each other's situation. That's literally what's going on. So how does energy work actually affect things? Well, if your brain literally is sending out electromagnetic pulses through your nerves going, this is how your body should function, and the other person has that going on, when you actually shift intention and mindset, your brain fires in different ways because it finds the priority of that intention more important than other things. It's not going to downgrade your health, but it's going to make the mental process only focus on the person that you're working with or the situation that you need to alleviate or accomplish.
Fucking get it.
So what actually happens is through intention, you actually wind up shifting the way your electromagnetism actually flows. Your aura. That's literally what it is, by the way. It's the excess static electricity, the electromagnetism that your body can't handle. It literally expels it, and that's what your aura is. So what you're really doing is you're actually causing that wave. You're causing that ripple. You're causing that movement on the surface of that water to see what's underneath and to cause a shift. What happens when you cause a small ripple? Fish move, fish jump. Plants may shift underneath. You're going to draw attention to animals. How is it that you find an attachment? Just a quick pulse through the body. I don't know why, but I've got this weird sensation in my ribs, and it feels like it's moving. It feels like crawling ants. It feels like, the pain is just shifting, and now it's in my shoulder on the other side. What's the difference? How do you get rid of things? How do you cause a disturbance? Cause a wave. Instead of just a tap, we're causing a push. We're splashing. At that point, things get disrupted. All the silt at the bottom, all the animals start to stir, all the plants move and shift. Things literally change. So, how is it that you clean all that up? At that particular point, when you know exactly what it is that you're working on, if you are actually working in a pond, you can skim the top after everything has been brought to the surface. Literally take all the gunk off, all the algae, all the excess silt. You can clean the water out. If you're trying to get things like turtles, like snapping turtles or dangerous snakes or different things out of the water, now that you know that they're there, you have the ability to get nets in there. You know where they are. You know how to fish them. If you're trying to make sure that you have enough fish in that pond for people to actually take from without depleting, cough, cough, then what you're going to need to do is restock it. It's the same thing when you're working with each other or with yourself. It is the same exact thing. Everything in metaphysics boils down to intuition empathy, and intention. Energy work is the fruition of that intention. It is literally the methodology of those three things in that fucking order.
And some of you may be going, there's no way it's that easy. There's no way it's that simple. It is. As long as you let it be. What's that thing you guys say?
It's only as difficult as you make it because it should be as easy as breathing. Because it is. It's only as difficult as you make it.
Everybody can be awesome. Everybody is awesome. You do amazing things every fucking day. You just have to believe in yourself.
Energy work is really awesome. So some of you have done the biomat thing, right? Some of you have done the biomats or the pressure point mats or depot tanks, well, ISO tanks. Depot tanks are definitely something different. But so ISO tanks, things like that. You've done those kinds of things. But notice what you're actually doing. You're affecting your electromagnetism. That's why it works the way it does. Biomats create a frequency. They create a different vibration that causes yours to go, wait a minute, that's kind of cool. Maybe I should do the same. And it gets you back in rhythm. The pressure point mats, what are you doing? You're applying pressure to specific nerves to cause your body to fire in the correct ways. Oh, I shouldn't be hurting. There's not a pain there. Oh, I can let that tension go. It's okay. What are you doing in an ISO tank? You're fucking literally laying in water. You are floating in water with nothing else around other than you. And you are using that water as a conduit for your excess electromagnetism. It draws it in, and as you lay there and you float, everything comes back to equilibrium. Doing energy work is no different. It's literally what it is when you have a Reiki practitioner that's smoothing things out and closing holes in the auras, and you have an alchemist or a gray pather or even a dark worker that's starting to pull attachments from you, or you have people that actually create constructs from moving energy to help you understand how things work. Brian's one of those. He uses needles. Mm-hmm. If you've ever had a spiritual treatment by him, he uses needles. Literally pop and pushes them in. The reason why is a needle is something small, it's quick, it's painless, goes directly where he needs it to go. And then as soon as it's there, it's a time release. It disperses the energy in that space. Or it holds that bone, that cartilage, that tissue together until someone can get a proper treatment from a doctor. There's all kinds of things that you can do with energy work. It's such a broad understanding, and it literally all depends on how it is your clair pops and how you understand your vibration.
And I know I'm looping back to this and hammering it home again. This is part of the reason why it's so important that you're cool with you. Because in these types of moments, when you're doing energy work on someone else, if you're not in balance and if you aren't on the same page with yourself and with your flavor, it's not going to end well for what your goal is. You can take something just as simple as, well, I'm trying to help balance this other person out. But if you're not in balance, then how are you going to be able to help them find balance?
We've been working with a lot of people over the last little bit, and all of them have been like, so tell me what I can do. And it's like, well, I know what you have a tendency for. I know things that you might be good at. I'm not going to tell you what you are good at. That's for you to decide.
What do you want to do?
What the fuck do you want to be? What do you want to do with it? You know,
There's this awesome thing where you get to actually choose who it is you want to be.
what kind of superpower do you want? You know, it's an interesting thing when you start to focus on what we've actually been talking about pretty much the entire year, about
Yeah.
understanding your gifts and your spiritual language, your clairs, and all these other things that we've been talking about. Energy work is literally the process of coming to terms with those clairs, with those spiritual understandings. That's what it is. It's your expression of what it is that you feel, you do, you understand. Well, this is how I know things work for me.
Mhm.
So I'm going to convey that and see if it's connected. See if there's some kind of uh, at least some kind of stirring, but hopefully some kind of resonance. And 9 times out of 10, if your intention matches what it is that you are thinking and wanting, you're solid. Here's the next thing. We've been talking about vibration, we've been talking about flow, we've been talking about energy work. One of the key things with energy work is holding your integrity. Yeah, I'm a broken record. Guess what? I'm old and I'm fat, and because of those particular things, I get to be a curmudgeon. Um, but all jokes aside, it's an important thing, and especially now with you know everybody in the paranormal field and industry acting the damn fool, and everybody in the metaphysical community acting like a wounded kid. The big thing here is be that person that goes, you know what? That's cool on that side, that's cool on that side, but I'm going to help this person.
Things may be dark, but they don't have to be.
Hold yourself with some respect and some dignity. You know, integrity is a fucking thing. If your mind, body, and spirit ain't in alignment on a decision, you don't need to be doing it. And energy work can go way wrong, way quick, every time that integrity falls to the wayside.
Recoil's a bitch.
If your body's out of alignment, you're going to take that recoil. If your spirit's out of alignment, there's not going to be a connection, meaning it's not going to work at all anyway. And if your mind isn't in it, that means you can't be invested. And if you're not invested in what you do, then why are you doing it? If you're not willing to give 110% to your client, to your friends, your family, your neighbor's dog, to a plant that you saw that needs a little bit of help, if you're not willing to be that person 100% of the time, then you shouldn't be that person. If you can't be the same person that helps a person behind closed doors out in public, then you probably should just keep it to yourself. Don't claim to be an energy worker when you're not willing to be an energy worker. And don't claim to do shit that you can't fucking do.
People know. And this is kind of looping back to what we talked about last year, too. The integrity is really important. So is making sure that your ego's in check. If you want to do awesome shit, do awesome shit.
It takes a lot less energy to be awesome than it does to be an asshole. It really does. This stuff is not hard, y'all. It's not. It's really not difficult. It's difficult because you want it to be. Connecting to people is not difficult. Dealing with our own baggage is what's difficult. Dealing with our own trauma is what's difficult. Dealing with our own day-to-day bullshit is what's difficult. Working with other people is not.
Getting to help people is one of the best fucking things ever. It is truly a gift. Why not view it as such?
When you are of service, you're able to be served. That's how the world goes around. And the big thing here, and this is another thing and another point, when you're doing energy work, so you're intending to help a person by affecting their field, by affecting how they work, how they receive, how they understand. You're trying to alleviate a problem or take out a blockage or an attachment. When you're doing those kinds of things, be sure to not apply your bias. It's just as bad as doing that in a tarot reading, if not worse. In a tarot reading, all you're doing is projecting. Well, here's my problem. I'm going to use you as an analog. Or I see the same trouble I'm having in you, so I'm going to work my shit out in your reading. Well, imagine doing that on a physical level, not just on a conversational level, on an actual physical level. Well, fuck, I'm angry at life, and I'm angry at my friends and my family, and I spilled my coffee on my lap because some jackass pulled out in front of me, but I guess I have to sit here and work with this person. If you're doing that in the back of your head and you're telling them that everything's going to be okay, and you go to do some kind of working, you're going to fry both of you. Treatment's not going to take, and they're going to wonder what the fuck you're lying about. Like, y'all, here's the next thing. On that particular bit, if you need a minute to reset, say so. If people are willing to come and see you and work with you and handle what it is that you are going to be giving them, you can take a fucking breather. Give me 5 minutes. I need to get my head straight. I need to go smoke a cigarette. I need to do whatever it is that I need to do to kind of ease a bit so that I'm here for you. Because you are what's important. I need to get myself straight. It's okay to do that. It's better to do that. That way it doesn't fucking pop out in the middle of your reading or your working. It's not difficult. Communication is key in these kinds of things. Keeping your integrity is key in these kinds of things. Keeping your bias out of the way is key in these kinds of things. You'll find that readings and energy work, they go a hell of a lot smoother when you have your shit together.
Yeah. It's a lot like doing things the hard way and then going, oh shit, I didn't have to do it that way. But when you're doing energy work, if it's something that you're interested in, because if it's not, that's cool too. We'll vibe, we'll hang out, whatever floats. If you do want to do energy work, just make sure that you're actually in balance first, please. Because if not, you will actually hurt yourself, like Steve has said repeatedly. We're just trying to hammer it home because we don't want to see anybody that we care about hurt.
The point is to teach. The point is to do it together, right? The reason why I get so heated about these kinds of things, or at least passionate about them, is I've done them wrong too. I wouldn't be a teacher if I haven't fucked it up before. It's the whole thing of, if you have the information and you understand what's going on, then you have the ability to stop yourself from making horrible mistakes. Measure twice, cut once, y'all.
And the Jesus is back.
Yup.
Solid timing on their end, honestly.
Hey, I'll have to make sure that they are definitely noted in the credits.
Shout out to hopefully not getting this dropped on Facebook because we have somebody else playing on the other side of the freaking shop.
Yeah, because there's every possibility that on Facebook, we're probably going to get muted.
Yep. So that is definitely something to notate. If you click on the video, just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. But we got any comments?
Yeah, let me click it over. I'm still cracking up that they're getting it as hard as they are. Like, honestly, I love to see the passion. What's that other freaking comment? The Lord said to make a noise.
Yeah, the Lord said to make a joyful noise. That they are.
Tip off to the comments. So it is apparently muffled, so at least there's that. Because earlier it was loud. So I'm glad it's a little bit more muffled now. But Linda Donaher said, "Amen." They're reinforcing y'all. And tips. I'm so gonna butcher this. I think Namas trauma. The fucked up in me recognizes the fucked up in you. And she was like, "Oh, I just got here. Who's in trouble?"
Nobody.
No, nobody.
Well, actually, some people, but none of y'all. None of y'all. Our community is awesome.
All the time, yeah. We're really grateful for y'all, actually.
We really are.
Linda Nelson said, "It never occurred to me that working with needles could be energy work." And sorry for being late. It is totally fine, ma'am.
Oh, absolutely. You are now on the Jesus train with us.
Yeah.
And we are going to, I had something for this.
That's okay.
I had something for this.
But as far as energy work with needles, you would be surprised what it is that can be considered energy work. Even something just as simple as like pushing back and forth with somebody is technically energy work.
Mm-hmm. For those of you who have taken our 100 class,
we're doing at the end of the month.
Shameless plug.
For us, because we don't normally do that.
We usually don't. We promote everybody else before ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But shameless plug, we're teaching literally all of this kind of stuff the last weekend of the month.
Yeah.
27th through the 29th, we literally teach you all this stuff and why it works and how. But doing something that's referred to as cycling, so pushing energy back and forth, literally, what you're actually doing is essentially, you're playing metaphysical patty cake. But what you're doing when you actually merge energy, so vibrations clash or is actually meet, you are actually allowing each other to experience each other. In that particular point, you're causing a resonance, meaning that you both understand each other on that particular wavelength. At that point, it's literally like flossing your system. So when you're doing that movement, it's literally like a dialysis machine. You're cleaning each other's chakra systems out when you do that kind of stuff. It's really neat. It's really cool. It's really simple. But that's literally what you're doing.
Because I started laughing and closed my eyes for part of that. Energy works cool as shit, y'all. Good morning to our friend who joined us on YouTube.
Hello, hello, hello.
Mike said the Tranquil Pond analogy got me. It's so perfect.
It's one that I've used for years, and it seems to help out, at least as far as visualizing. I will literally speak the language here in a minute instead of chewing it up, spitting it out. But I'm glad it worked for you, bub.
Dad commented a little while ago. Total Jesus party going down. It was. It was.
I mean, I'm here for it. You know,
Yep.
I'm here for it.
Mike said breath work is the best. And Terry popped in and said, hello, fuckers, shared out. And Linda Donaher said, we all need a touch, when I was joking about a touch of Jesus. I just need a touch of Jesus. It'll be fine here in a minute and I'll talk correctly. Joke's on me. I needed apparently a little bit more than a touch of Jesus, but that's all right. Linda, Lisa Foxier said, hey, y'all. I'm going to do my damnedest to do my weekend off. Awesome. If you can join us, it'll be awesome. We're going to try and share the links out again, just as a refresher. That way they're at the top of everybody's feed, and at the very least the top of the SMX feed. But all the links to purchase the classes will be in the description.
Yep.
And it was all hellos after that. Let's see. Hi, April. She said, hey, I'm grateful for you. And Mike goes on the Jesus train rolling into Bethlehem under the veil. It's pretty fucking much. It was like paddle boat. That would be interesting. Metaphysical paddle boating. And she said, y'all, at the Jesus party, I'm running around the backyard chasing the dog with my ass hanging out.
Jeez.
The Jesus.
The Jesus.
He's a cool dude.
From what I understand.
Yeah.
From what I've seen. But yeah, energy work can be done in multiple ways with multiple instruments, multiple wavelengths. It's for those of you that use stones. What are you doing? Every stone has its own vibration. Yes, it does, because it's its own mineral. So what are you actually doing when you do stone therapies, where you do stone cleansings, workings,
Meditating.
attunements?
If you sit in a room full of crystals when you meditate.
What are you actually doing? What you're doing is you're interacting with vibration. Your vibration is meeting the one that particular mineral puts off. And because of that, it wakes it up. It literally filters your vibration through it and sends it back with its connected. Cough, cough. That's what you actually do when you resonate with somebody.
Resonating's cool.
So different stones have different minerals. Because of that, they have different wavelengths, so they all feel different. Their composition is all going to be different. You can have a bowl full of the same crystal in little pocket crystal size, and they'll all feel different because of their composition. But the one that vibes with you, this one, out of an entire fistful, that one is what you need to get your vibration back on track.
It might be a smaller chunk. It might be a bigger chunk. It might be one that you can fiddle with in your hand. It may not even eventually be for you.
Exactly. As far as Linda Nelson's comment with needles, yeah, Brian will literally construct needles out of specific energies that person needs. After he's done his assessment, asked his questions, asked what they want, gotten his permissions, he'll literally construct needles out of the energies they need and insert them in the spots that are really depleted or injured or breaking down. And that particular movement that he does is unique to him. And it's really amazing to watch. The boy has, through energy work, been able to keep people from knee surgeries, has really helped out with all kinds of muscle degradation, has been able to ease certain symptoms of illnesses, migraines. It's pretty cool to watch. It's really good stuff. That's his particular alchemy, at least part of it. his particular alchemic medicine. We'll put it that way. I'm a spiritual surgeon. He's a spiritual acupuncturist. Which, if you want to take the physical side of that, there is spiritual acupuncture, there's real acupuncture. What are you doing with an acupuncture needle? By trade, by actual fucking definition, what you're doing is you're implanting those particular needles into clusters of nerves so that you can create a movement through the body that follows that path. Electricity is going to be drawn to metal. You're literally moving the energy through the body in those particular spaces. Your nerves are going to either A, fire, or B, not, depending on how the needle is inserted and where. It's the same actual thing as energy work. Is it as effective as going and getting actual 100% treatment at a doctor? No. But is it a great supplement? Yes. You can do a lot of cool shit with acupuncture and acupressure, which is literally doing the same, only applying pressure to pressure points as opposed to, sticking needles into nerve clusters. But it's literally the same kind of process. You can do a lot of cool shit with energy work, y'all. Energy work can help things grow in the dead of winter. Energy work can clean and maintain water, air. Energy work can help keep you sane, help the people around you mellow out. Energy work has the ability to help specific, animals actually become healthy. Energy work is actually currently being used in studies for cancer treatments. Here at EKU, Eastern Kentucky University, for those of you who aren't around here, and a couple of other colleges, they're starting a holistics program, and Reiki is part of that. And the reason why is there are certain facilities now that actually allow you to practice Reiki on people who are going through cancer treatment. It's actually showing that it's beneficial. Not to mention, we're talking about different tools, we're talking about different vibrations, different energies. Our friend Stephen Tyree, he does sound healing. He uses tuning forks. He uses sound bowls. And what makes that viable is the sound wave literally moves through your body. It's a tangible wave. It's something you can hear. It's something you can feel. Your brain goes, cool, that's what we're doing. And it literally ripples through your body because he places it where it's needed at the particular pressure point spots. It's literally moving through your body until it dissipates.
Or shakes whatever is needing to be let loose.
Loose. It either breaks it down, it holds it together, or it forces it out. It's an awesome practice, but it's still energy work.
It looks like we might have a couple more comments. Lisa Oxier said, I had our veterinarian ask me if I did Reiki on my dog. I was like, yeah. Yeah. He said, good job. She wasn't as bad as she should have been. April Kennedy said, my mom literally saw PT today, and then they offered Reiki. Then they stopped by and saw Tyree. And I told my mom she needed him to heal her. Renee said, this year with my class, I got each kiddo, quote, magical stones and rocks, end quote, as they call them. I placed them in our class treasure box for them to pick. Fuck yeah. And Tiff said, that's how my cat's still alive. He does his own. They attach tins to the needles now in some places. And True. She also said, I always think I'm picking crystals for myself and it ends up being for someone else. Steve, cough, cough.
Yeah, half the stones that Tiff's like, that's fucking cool. Winds up being used as a work stone
Mhm.
for other people. But it's that vibe,
Yep.
you know?
Linda Nelson said releasing as far as when you were talking about the Brian's needles, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And what is Linda Donaher said sounds like spiritual acupuncture.
I didn't even know you said that.
Lisa Oxier said sometimes they fly off your shelves at you, minerals and crystals. True. And Tiff was like, or whatever's living in it, I still haven't found that basilisk. And she said, I need to read it, tuning fork my ass up or get that SI injection. Definitely, actually.
He would do. He'd take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's many different types. I mean, we've literally talked about more than a fistful of different types of energy work.
Mm-hmm.
What you're actually doing is you're causing something to move by introducing an outside force. Your intention is what actually dictates what moves. Energy work literally is a mind over matter. Because you think it, you will it, and you express it, it's able to happen on a physical level because you are expressing it through your mind, body, and spirit at the same time. The tools, the motions,
The breath work,
the breath work, the words, the incantations, the sigils,
music.
the music, the vibrational tool, whatever it is that you decide is your best version of how it is that you express your intention to help other people is your particular energy work. Energy work is broad. It's supposed to be. Because it's literally your expression of who you are and what it is you feel and what it is you do and your connection to your flavor being expressed at the same time. Connectivity is a fucking thing. Resonance is a fucking thing. And being able to connect and resonate with people on that particular level is a gift. If you want to find yours, all you have to do is think about how it is you interact. Some people lay hands. Some people can do from a distance. Some people need a stone, need a particular amulet, need, a vibration, need to call on it, need to have a particular element present, need to have this particular type of ritual going, this particular kind of smudge, this kind of, outward music or um, chanting or calling, drum work, different things like that. Different people need different things, but guess what? The end result is the same.
Woo!
It is the same. And tying it all back in to what Pat had said at an earlier stage of the conversation, guess what your label is? Your label is literally condensing all that shit into a couple words so that people can relate to it. It's not you being pigeonholed. Guess what metaphysics is? Metaphysics is literally your expression of your understanding. That's it. Learning different types of metaphysics is just gaining a different skill set. That's all you're doing. Learning from different practitioners is just like going to a college and learning from different fucking professors. Going and adopting different tools and different movements and different wavelengths is the same as, being a farrier before you can be a smith or being a journeyman before you can be an electrician. You're learning a particular skill They're tools in a toolbox.
Which we also talked about earlier in the year.
Sure fucking did. Isn't that neat? It's almost like we pay attention to what we tell y'all. Uh, but the big thing here is they're tools in a toolbox. That's literally what it's for. A good metaphysician is always going to have a doctor's bag full of things that they can bring out when it's necessary to do a specific treatment, just like any other physician. And in order to be able to do that, you have to go to school. You have to learn different things. Different people adopt different labels so that people like you, people like us, people like everybody else can go, that seems interesting. I never thought about that before. Similar to Mike talking about, my pond analogy. Never thought about that, or, I never realized that that could be used that way. Well, yeah, have at it. Do your thing. If it helps, that's the best thing.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. We're literally all in this together, and at the end of it, we're all we have. So why not do it together? Why not make it make sense? So when it comes to a label, don't worry about that. A label is just telling people what your skill set is. I know how to do these things. These are my credentials. That's my diploma on the wall. That's my letters after my name. That's all you're doing.
I'm a doctor of blank.
I am a this type of alchemist. I am a this type of witch. I'm a this type of Reiki practitioner. Guess what you're doing? You're telling people that you went to school and earned that title. That's all it is. People that take too much time and focus on labels and how it is that they affect their energy work. It takes so much away from what it is that they're actually good at.
And then oftentimes they get in their own head.
Which breaks down that integrity, which makes your energy work suffer even more.
Then beats you up, beats the client up, and it's not what it should be.
I tell literally everybody, alchemy is what I claim, it's not what I do. And that's true. My work, what I do for everybody else, is alchemy, 100%. That's what I do for you guys. But alchemy is not what I am. Alchemy is not what I do on a personal level. That's for me. So I am pulling out my tools to give a service to you through alchemy. That's why I call myself an alchemist. An electrician is an electrician at home. An electrician is an electrician when they're, fist deep in a bunch of fucking wires in a rat's nest in someone's wall. At home, they're, a father or mother, or they're a homeowner, they're a friend, they're a family member, they're, a gamer, or, a hunter or a fisherman. There are other things. A label is just explaining your skill set, y'all. That's it. When you're on the clock and you're doing it and you're trying to make it make sense for other people, you're trying to connect to other people, you're trying to be there as something more than what you are, that's when that label comes out. I got you. This is what I can do. Don't be a punk about it.
Takes a lot less energy to be awesome than it does to be an asshole. Even to yourself. So, Wrapping up for tonight. Energy work. It's awesome. Just like you are. I'm going to say it. That's 3 in a row now, yeah?
Yep.
You want to finish closing us out?
That was a real sloppy mic drop.
I think you're awesome. I think y'all are fantastic. I love the fuck out of y'all. I really fucking do. Mike.
Smooth. Tranquil as the surface of a pond. Jesus.
Linda's coming back. She said, thanks for all awesome. Have a great week.
But in all honesty, thank you guys for always showing up. Thank you guys on YouTube for joining. If you want to see more craziness like this, we do this every Thursday. I also provide a quick word, which is just something to think about, plus our usual announcements, as well as a forecast. So an energetic forecast tells you about the next week or so and things that could happen as a result of energy shifts. We do a bunch of other things. We're actually hosting a class. We do them both in person here in the classroom and online. So what we're currently doing with you, we can do and actually have a class with you.
Yep.
So it's hybridized, meaning those of you who need to be on camera can do it from the safety of your home or from your car or wherever it is that you are. Some people are out of state or definitely, over the pond. There's a couple of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to do the thing, I understand time difference is a factor. But if you guys want to do the thing, all you have to do is apply for the register, not apply, register for the online, and we'll have you a digital spot in our Discord. It's real simple stuff. But you can take it live while people are physically here taking it in person, so you don't miss a beat. But it's going to be our 100 series classes. So 27th, 28th, and 29th of June. So the last weekend of this month, we'll be hosting those classes. And our 100 series is all about the stuff we've been talking about, over the last couple months. It's almost like we planned that shit or something.
We stack things. Isn't that neat?
This leads to this, leads to this, leads to a class about it.
Yeah.
All sloppy marketing aside, we try our best to make things a lot more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you don't know which book to read. You don't know which person to follow. You don't know, if someone's feeding you a bunch of bullshit or whatever. We make it approachable, make it open, make it understandable. That way you can make your own choices, because that's the fucking point. So if you want to do the thing, as she said multiple times, we're going to start throwing the post around that's got the links. If you buy all 3, you get essentially one half off.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, the classes are $50 a piece. And the whole package is $130 instead of $150. But all that being said, I'm going to have the regular videos, the forecast, and the quick word. I'm actually going to be doing them tomorrow. As far as pre-recording, Brian will be able to get those out when he's able to get those out. His current work schedule is kind of, so, we're kind of having to play around with when things are going to be accessible for you guys. But they are coming. We have not forgot. That life happens, schedule sucks. So all that being said, all the announcements being said, hopefully you guys got something out of this. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember that those that have the power to change themselves have the power to change the world around themselves. Love y'all.
Love you guys.